Welcome to No Fomo Charts YouTube channel, live stream number 5. Today is Friday, August 7th, 2020. We just wrapped up another week of quarter 2 earnings for 2020. We had a few questions in the comments this past week, so I'll answer those questions directly at the end. So we had a couple questions about learning about technical analysis, XRP, crypto, and Bitcoin. So typically the order I do analysis is USA stock market indexes, and then global stock market indexes, and then the crypto market. And then if we have any questions, I'll directly answer them at the end if I didn't cover it already. So thanks so much for joining the live stream. And just quick disclaimer before we start, disclaimer, these videos and charts are for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. It's not financial advice. So with that in mind, welcome. And let's start with the Dow Jones Index here. All right, so things are getting a little messy on this chart. So because we're starting a new month, what I'm going to do is just quickly wrap up this and then erase everything. So if you look at the blue target, we hit our blue target price target on the top. You see this? Remember last week we were talking about this right here on July 29th and 30th, where the price bounced up off of this support level, 26,054, and we bounced up, rallied up to this resistance, 27,000, and now we're stuck between this resistance at 27,585. So what I'm going to do now is let's just erase everything. Why? Because it's getting a little messy. If we can't manage it on the charts, then we can't really make sense of what's happening in the market. So let's reset it and check this out. Okay, so what am I seeing right here? So if we're looking at recent price action the past 2 months here, okay, so there's an obvious resistance level at 27,564. I'm rounding. You see that right here? Okay, now there's a secret gap support right here as well. How did I find that? There's a gap right here. Do you see this gap? Those can act as support and resistance levels. Okay, not always, but there's one right there. And then the immediate support level is where these two hammer candles were, bounced off the support level 25,981 or 998 range. So if somebody wanted to make it very, very simple, okay, very, very simple, just 2 or 3 support and resistance points, and that's all you need. So the next resistance above is probably somewhere around here, 28,274 range, where this cluster of price candles are at the top here. I'm going to call it 28,349. And the second support, I would say, is probably in this zone. Do you see where this upside down, ugly upside down head and shoulders was? Or double bottom? Okay, so probably the next immediate support is probably somewhere in this range, because these candles, and right here, it's hitting a lot of touch points. So 25,531. So very simple, very simple. Okay, in terms of trend lines, diagonal trend lines. Now, let's change the color here. Okay, and so how do we draw this? Well, yes, there's a really large one from down here, but what I'm seeing, what hits more touch points is probably from the midpoint here to here, like this. Do you see this now? This makes more sense. This could even tighten up further, or you could start it on this candle up here, and see that makes way more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points like that in terms of the price candle. So there's also a diagonal trend line from the top, and I'm going a lot slower on this first one. We'll speed it up for the next ones, but I'm just showing the process. You see that? Now there's resistance on the top. It's not quite perfect. This one only has 2 touch points, maybe a third one if you count recent price action from today. And so if you look at this, it could be thought of as an ascending triangle. It could be thought of that. So we bounce off the support level, strong support. Okay, this is like a double resistance, this 27,609 range. You see this trend line, and you have a resistance level. So what could happen with the price? Well, we could break out of this triangle and retest it on the bottom, which is a common setup, breakout setup. Okay, let me turn on the volume so you can see. So if we have huge volume all of a sudden and this breaks out, and then we have less volume and then it breaks out again, that's a real breakout setup. And the target would be the second resistance up here, 28,345. That's the bullish target. So I'm going to circle that and leave that there. If that doesn't happen and we have a pullback, the obvious pullback spot is right here because there's the gap support. Okay, see that? Then there's this trend line support on the bottom right here. So 26,906 area. It's not exactly to the dot, but the general idea of coming back down to support is right there. If we lose that, then the next bearish target to the downside is 25,978 range. Okay, so there's a quick support and resistance and trend line and bullish and bearish target example for the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, DJI. Okay, very quickly, next, S&P 500. So this looks like chicken scratch. So let me just show you why did I draw all this nonsense. So actually technical analysis. So what happened is you break out right here, break out, pull back down. Let me draw it. Break out with the price, pull back down, test it, break out on good news, good earnings report. So we hit our target. There's one right here. The yellow lines at 3333, like I kept saying for like 2 weeks, and this blue line. Okay, so now that that's done, the target's hit, I'm going to erase everything and start over because it's new month. So again, where's the obvious resistance? The ceiling right here, right here. Look left, look left. Where's the highest point? Right here. Or a couple of highest points, zone 3379. That's the target. Really, totally possible. Just like 2 or 3 days or a week, and we could totally hit that. Now, where is the next highest spot? Maybe 3,400. That's pretty close. So I'm going to call it 3,450. Just go in increments of 50 and 100. So 3,500. See, like that. So those are the resistances up top to the upside. Downside support levels. See, again, we have a gap right here. I'm going to circle it. We have a gap in the price right there on the COVID-19 crash. Gap right there. So this will be our support right there. How did I find that spot? Because a lot of touch points. Price 1, 2. There's one zone in here. 3, 4. Look at all that. So it's significant. There's the next one right here. See that? Price touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, relatively in the zone. Next one will probably be somewhere right here. So that would be 3138 support, 3227 support, 3274 support. Okay, so yes, I have a lot of lines drawn out that like that, but from my experience, just if you only have one support level, like if you just do this, then if it breaks down from that, then people start panicking. So you kind of have to have your levels ahead of time, and then all of this makes sense. Like you see this bounce up here and come back down, hesitate at this zone, then break out above this, and it's pushing up to this next price level right here in the price and the charts. So trend line. So we're uptrending right now, basically. And how do I know that? Because we're making higher highs and higher lows in the price, like this. This is a higher high, higher low, very good. Higher high, very good. Higher low, great. Higher high, higher low. Now we made the higher high. So it's a question of where is the higher high going to end, and then where's the next higher low going to be, like this. Where, somewhere up here, okay? But then we just drew all these levels. So this is where it has to break through and target to. It could just stop right here and come back like that. Totally fine. That's totally normal. That's why we draw a trend line to get some of this uptrend support. So this looks a little steep. So what I'm going to do from here, like the middle to here, if you want to make it even tighter, you could do it like this, right? But this is a very short-term trend line. And then you have the closing on the top just because it's the all-time high resistance level right here, okay? And I'm drawing these very thick lines so it's easy to see for next time. So it's not exactly perfect, but it's close enough. I mean, this could even go all the way probably down here like that. So with this in mind, obviously we're in a contested area right here. Again, bullish target 3,400. It could just break out. Again, break out. Whenever there's a ascending triangle looking like this, you could break out and just boom, go up like that, or come test the support down, break up, or fall back down like this on really bad news, bounce up, test that, and go down. Okay? But if you just have like one red or one big red or one big green candle, to me it's not as significant, because when we're looking at longer term trends, okay, the question in my mind is always, are we going upstairs or are we going downstairs? Okay, so just one like candle doesn't mean that much unless it's a very specific type of candlestick, price candlestick. But just always think about that in your mind. That's what helps me is, are we going upstairs like this? The price going upstairs and it's holding. It's like we're not crashing like this because of some global emergency. But you see this? It's just slowly going upstairs. Yes, there's some tricky spots like what is this and what was this, right? But these are actual chart patterns. But if you kind of zoom out and look at the whole year right after the crash, then it's going upstairs. So we haven't really seen it turn downstairs too bad. Okay, so that's something to think about and keep in mind. All right. So let's keep going here. Internet's a little slow. All right, so NASDAQ, we hit our bullish target to the upside. Okay, see, we were stuck in this consolidation box range, meaning the price was just stuck, going bounce, bounce, stuck, 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 and then we broke out. Finally, broke out. He hit our bullish target, 11,000. Why is it 11,000? Psychological numbers. Even went to 11,100. NASDAQ trying to be Bitcoin right here. So basically, boom, up, and then you get a little doji, get some indecision on Friday, like, oh, what do we do? So again, right here, there are two multiple support levels and multiple resistance levels. So let me just go ahead and erase this. All right, so we start over here. So NASDAQ, the trick with NASDAQ is, if you study the charts or you've been trading, you know people love technology. People love tech stocks. And people love to push Wall Street traders, institutions, they love tech. They love NASDAQ. They could just push it up as high as possible. It's like financial Jenga. Okay? How high can it go before everything comes crashing down? How hyped can we get before it becomes insanity with the price levels? So, with that in mind, where's the resistance on top? 11,135. Okay, how did I get that number? Just 2 candle touch points right there. Maybe I have to zoom in so everybody could see. See that? 2 touch points. General range is not the exact price. Then where's the support level? Media support at 10,909. And that's close enough. You know what I mean? There's like another one right here, but it's close enough. Okay, so that's where we're stuck between 11,200. So these are very, very, very short-term targets. If you want longer-term targets, like think like 12,000, like way up here. 12,000, 11,500, more like $500 increments. So 10,500. See this? If I draw this white line, it's like smack right in the middle of this price consolidation, up, down, stuck right there. So another support at 10,300. All right, so I don't want to keep drawing support and resistance levels forever. So the next really, really big one down here is 9,820, because that was the previous all-time high before we crashed. All right, so there is a trend line in here. There is a trend line in here. So to make it easy, I'll draw it backwards like that. And, you know, as long as you get 2-3 touch points, you're good. It's good. It's a valid trend line for analysis. But if you have like something like this, you have how many touch points? I mean, even we could draw it lower, even lower. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7. This is like the ultimate trend line. Okay, very strong, very strong. So on the top side, yes, there's this one you could draw from the all-time high. Okay, there's that one right here. There's also a lower midpoint one, but we could leave that in there, right? But the general resistance target, you see this now if you zoom in, Now it's getting rejected like 2 times. Do you see that? There's 2 horizontal and then 2 diagonal lines. So this is like a cross point, in my opinion. Resistance zone, I'm just going to call it. Boom, circle it right there. That's another reason why we stopped technically on the charts. So 11,200, like that. So if you see this, then where's the obvious? Remember, are we going uptrend or are we going downtrend? Are we going upstairs? It looks like it's going upstairs, right? Because it's not going downstairs. Downtrending, it's not doing that. So where's the trend line support? Trend line support would be somewhere, if you look right here in this price zone, somewhere around here. Okay, because I'm looking like this. And then it might hit this support trend line right there, somewhere around 10,800 range. Okay, it's an estimate, it's not perfect. Maybe somewhere over here at 10,750, like that. So, and then a breakout target up here would be 11,500. Okay, so there's 3 targets. The bullish target up here is 11,500, excuse me. 11,500 bullish target. The resistance it has to break out from is 11,200. And then support down here at 10,770. General range. All right, so that looks a lot cleaner on the charts. Okay, I'm gonna try to move a little faster here. So hopefully I'm kind of explaining and I'm trying to answer people's questions while I do real-time analysis. Okay, so Russell 2000, RUT, right here. All right, looks really, really ugly, so many lines. But the basic premise was consolidating here inside a symmetrical triangle, breakout of the price, holding this price level of 1,500, then a breakout above resistance up here, and now we're at 1,567. So Russell 2000 continuing its uptrend. Very nice. All right, let's erase this. But you see, we have all these resistance levels on the left. This is the problem with day traders or people zoomed in super close like this. It looks like you're sky free, you're home free, but not really. If you zoom out, it's like, wait. We have this resistance right here. We have one right here at 1587, 1610, 1650, 1700. Okay, so these are all resistance levels we have to break out from for this Russell 2000 high, the previous 2020 high price. Down here on support, this resistance used to be a resistance, now it's support. So 1538, you see how that works? Used to be a resistance, it used to be a ceiling, but now it's the floor, temporary floor. Okay, so it's an important concept for support or resistance in the price. Okay, so support levels on the bottom side right here, there was that 1467, there's this one, 1388. So I'm not going to draw too many, 1350. Let's get the trend line in there. All right, this trend line's a little steeper. I see it from here, like that. And there's also one right here, 3 touch points approximately. Oh, so we had the breakout. Okay, ascending triangle breakout. Everybody see that? Although there's no volume on this index. But you see this, there's support. Let me zoom in. Hit that trend line support. Okay, and by the way, this is not random. This line could have been drawn all the way since July or June. Maybe July, mid of July, right? So this line was always there. It was always there for like a month. So support, boom, right there. Touch that. You see the buyers? You see that little stick on this candle? That means people bought that in that day. Boom, people bought the support. Pro traders, institutions, they bought that. Traders, they bought that. Then we had the rally breakout. Boom, boom, up. Little hesitation right here, that red candle at the 1545 price breakout. Then we had the bullish reaction to the upside on Friday. So 3 targets, like always. Bullish target, let's say probably somewhere here in this zone, 1616. All right, the resistance, the support level is 1543, right down here. And then bearish downside target support 2 is 1472. Okay, maybe somewhere in 1500 psychological. I'll draw that like that as well. So again, but if you look at, are we going upstairs or going downstairs? Uptrend or downtrend? Still uptrending. How do we know? High, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So the question is where will the higher high stop? Excuse me. and it could go higher high, higher low, higher high like that, or stop right here and just go down and like that. Okay, so just remember, it's upstairs right now. It's upstairs. We're not going downstairs yet. Okay, VIX. VIX. So the VIX right here coming down to a support level. Again, see these large, big yellow boxes? Okay, so here, let me just erase everything because we hit our support target. This is getting stuck there multiple times at 21.22. So this is downtrend, okay, in the volatility index of the S&P. How do we know this? Downstairs looks like this visually, but it's lower lows and lower highs consistently, more than 4 or 2 each, right? If you just have one, like I said, if you have one down day, hold on, my computer froze. If you have one down day, right, that doesn't really mean anything, right? You need, for day traders, it means something, but for swing traders, investors, you need trend. You need trend. You need several confirmations that we're going down. As an investor, right, you don't just want to sell because there's one candle like that. So again, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high price. This is where it got a little tricky. Higher low, it's like, okay, maybe we're going upstairs now, but it's like, never mind. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So it got a little tricky in the middle there, but if you zoom out and you look really big, it's lower low, lower high. And then now I'm expecting some kind of lower low, okay? So again, there's a large gap right here, large gap support. I'll leave that. It's kind of like a freeway divider, right? Once this gets broken, then to the downside, right? Because you see how it's been holding so strong for about 2 months now. This thing, if it gets broken, it's significant, okay? It's not, it's not emergency, but it's significant. So downside support is right where we are right now, $21.60, $20, psychological, $18.20, down here, $13.50 if it goes real low. Then resistance to the top side is 26, 30, and let's just call it 36. Okay, so these are like the longer term resistance levels. But remember, the VIX, VIX, basically in a downtrend. Okay, but if you want to get really specific with the trend lines, looks something like this. Okay, if you want to get really into the close, you could do something like even tighter, but let me do this so it hits more touch points. Okay, and then you can draw one like this. It's a little tricky because the VIX is kind of a sloppy chart, but you could do like this, right? This would make sense, but also I kind of like to draw this channel out like this. Right, like there. All right, so this makes a little more sense. You could probably draw a little baby one right inside here as well. Okay, so we'll just leave that. But the overall key is this downtrending. All right, try to go faster here. All right, gold spot. This is the Forex chart, XAU USD, 1 day Oanda. All right, so we hit our targets. Look at the blue lines. All right, so what I was saying in the past couple months, 3 to 6 months, is we were consolidating on gold, going sideways with the breakout, price breakout. Then we broke out of the top of this channel. Okay, you see this diagonal trend line like that? We broke out of that. Then we had the huge FOMO rally. Everyone in the world wants a piece of this, right? Because it works for two groups of people. If people are scared about the stock market and we're going to crash, then they're going to buy a safe haven like gold. That's why this is going up. Then you get people who just want to make money. Traders coming in and say, you know what, gold's on a breakout, I'm putting my money in there and it's going to ride. So just think about most major countries, they have access to Forex trading and they have access to the gold GLD gold ETF. So people are just buying this because it's going up, making money. But the big BUT is we hit our targets. Okay, we broke through 2000 psychological. Now we're hesitating, just consolidating. It's 1 day, right? It's just 1 day at 2050. So this is what I'm talking about. Trend is this is going upstairs. There's a tight upstairs pattern. Okay, I'm just going to erase this now because it's getting a little messy, right? But this is a tight upstairs pattern. High, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low. Very, very short-lived. High, high. So, and we're just trying to find out where the high low is. But if in the big picture of this, right? And let's say if these are the major two price zones, right, the middle could pull back all the way somewhere down here and we'll still be fine technically. So like 1900, it could do that and continue to bounce up like that. But when things are really, really trending, we don't really get huge pullback down like that because we need a major global crisis like this. So again, just because you see red on the charts doesn't mean sell. If we suddenly saw like this, like a huge red, I would be a little concerned. Like, what is that? What happened? Right? Like this, just nonstop selling for like a week, then there's a major problem there. But if you have one red candle, don't get scared about that. Usually, okay? But this is just education, okay? It's not financial advice. Education. So let's get the resistance levels up. Support and resistance. Start with the resistance first. So 2075. Okay, we could get 2200 in there. We'll get 2150 in there. And we'll get 2300 just to get a huge topside target. But again, some consolidation, okay? Consolidation. Look how much this, let's just go by price percentage from the breakout, meaning when it broke out of this range, how much did it go up? 16%. So for gold, that's a very significant move because if you think about the COVID crash, it crashed down 16%. Almost. If you go from top to top, it's like 15%. So if we just went 15% up, that's a significant move for gold. Okay, so we might see some pullback, meaning we might see some down in the price. But again, gold has been uptrending for so long. I need to draw that one price channel again because it's really important. Really important because you see this right there. You see that? That's why we're stopping. It's not random. It is not random. And for this, because of COVID crash, I'm just going to tighten up like that. I'm going to say the crash was a unique event, but we came back in, tested the bottom of that, and we're stuck in here like that. So redrawing this is like a almost a 1 to 2 year long daily channel. And this was here the entire time, right? If you drew the channel here, this target was always there. This target in the midline was always there. This support level was always there, generally, in the zone, right? So that's why technical analysis charts, they can help with forecasting future targets. It could help. So we just went from the bottom of the channel, if you think about it, to the top of the channel. Long-term channel. All right, so this is starting to make sense now. It's like, well, if we pull back, we could totally pull back right here in 1934. Excuse me, that could totally happen, right? And we're still in the uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we could try to maybe test it. It might make an M, might do that. Double top, right? Or we'll just pull back right down here in 1983. So let me get some targets and we'll move on. So that resistance at 2072 right there. The immediate support at 2015, 1981 support, 1940 support. All right. So bullish target, if we keep going higher, would be 2152. The bearish downside target, if we go lower, would be 1993. All right, and then 2000 is kind of that psychological support. If we fall under 2000, would be very interesting to see. But again, are we going upstairs or downstairs? Yes, we're going upstairs, but we just hit a resistance level, so we're going to watch out for that. I'll circle that for next time. Okay, silver, all right, look at this little chart setup right here, the pennant with the breakout with some volume, all right? So how much, let's see, how much did silver go? If you measure the move, silver went 55%. 55% in 1 month. If we rewind and look at the COVID-19 crash, silver crashed down 38%. So, we'll just stop here and think about this. Like, wait a second. In one of the worst global crises ever, silver Forex crashed down about 38%. And then from the exact same price spot, we went 60%, almost 2 times the move up. So what am I curious about, right? I'm curious about maybe it's time for a pullback, right? So we hit this target already. All right, so I'm going to erase this. Now, let's back up a little bit. Back up on the charts. What do we see here? What do we see? Well, let's draw major support. Okay, let me actually zoom in so if someone's not going to watch the whole thing. So let's get a resistance level at 30. Okay, resistance at 30, support at 27.44, support at 26.31, 24.19. Then probably going in by dollar increments, 32, 33, 34. All right, so I'm saying if we zoom out, let's see if we could find some kind of correlation here. Let's look at the trend lines. I mean, boom, here's one here. See that? Silver riding the trend line, just like a roller coaster. Just crawling up the trend line with the explosion. Like that. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? There does seem to be one here, so this one makes sense. Let's see if I could get an extended trend line here. Yeah, see that? It's a different type of extended. It just goes on forever, but you see that? We just hit it. Boom. Okay, so again, these two trend lines were here for like 3 months. This one was here for 1 year. This top side one target was up here for a year. And then you had the resistance, the former resistance at $20 right there. So if somebody did really good chart analysis for the past like 1 or 2 months and drew this, then yes, this is the obvious support with the breakout of this was the previous triangle like that. You see that in yellow? Broke out, and now where's the target? Boom, right here. Almost hesitated right there, but we hit the target here. So we actually broke out above it, and that's why we're hesitating. The market is saying, wait a second, are we going to go higher? Can we go break out from here? But it's losing a little bit of momentum, so I'm expecting a little bit of pullback or retest of this support right here at around 27.65 for silver. Okay, so yes, it's still an uptrend, but just remember, we crashed down 36% around here, approximately over here, and then we rallied 60% here. So we had almost double the move compared to the worst global crash in history. So again, this is people just trying to make money in the market right now, because we're not crashing in the market right now. It's just people trying to make money. So again, bullish target. If we keep going to the upside, expect 30 and maybe a breakout above that. If we pull back bearish to the downside, then expect something like $25 around here. Okay, these are the two like longer term targets. Maybe we'll pull back down to 27 as well. All right, so the dollar currency index, the DXY. All right, so interestingly enough, too many support levels. Let's just erase that. Immediate support right here, 92.60. All right, this is interesting. Why? Because double bottom in the price. All right, double bottom in the price. Are we about to see a reversal? Maybe. Okay, it's double bottoms don't always work, right? But immediate support right here at 92.60, and then resistance at 93.53. Next resistance 94.69. Next resistance 95.70. Okay, support to the downside. We look to the left. Very simply, this cluster of prices over here, 91.44, 90.68. All right here. All right, so then trend lines. So look at this dollar currency index. Basically, this is the downtrend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So like I kept saying for 2 weeks, the dollar currency index is trying to find where's its low. How low is this thing going to go is the question. And so wait a second, we have a double bottom here. Okay, that's good. That's good. If we're going to reverse this into an uptrend or just a bounce to find the next lower high, right? That would be somewhere in this range. 94.84 to 95.78. How do I get that? If you just do trend theory, right? Downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, maybe a lower high, right? Might have to wait for that for like a month though. And then downside target would be down here at around 90.75. Okay, let's wrap things up. US oil. Okay, so for about a month now, I've been talking about this chart pattern, the potential upward sloping wedge or potential ascending triangle pattern. So we hit our blue target right here, 30. Okay, so I'm going to erase that now. Just turn this off for a second and think, like, is it going upstairs or downstairs? It's going upstairs still, right? If you look at a line chart. If you look at a long chart, still high, low, high, low. It's tightening though. Okay, so this was an interesting chart because I need to let's just keep this, but I'll just redraw the trend lines because interesting tightening pattern. Okay, so immediate support and resistance still stuck between support 28.91 and resistance 30.27. See that? Broke down, but in terms of the close, it's just stuck between here. But if you look right here, if you draw the tight trend line, you see that? It's just bouncing around the inflection point. It's flip-flopping like over a fence, so to speak. Nobody really knows yet, right? Exactly when are we going to recover? When are we going to recover? When's the economy going to recover? People have their forecasts, but nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, right? And this is just kind of bouncing around on news and such, and earnings and psychological sentiment, like people's mentality. Do people feel good this week on information and news, or do they feel bad this week on information and news? Are we opening up, or are we closing down the economy and certain businesses, right? So that's what this is. And then, but the thing with U.S. oil and oil, from my experience, is just demand and supply. It goes beyond just, it's not about gas prices, not just about barrels, price per barrel. There's a whole demand supply model going on, contango, in terms of where can we store the barrels? Does anyone even want to buy the barrels right now? So, like, who's going to use the oil? Are we going to travel? Are we going to fly? Are we going to drive around? Right? Our ships and, trucks and companies, all that comes into play. So just looking at a chart, it doesn't really help that much in terms of trying to figure that part out, the fundamentals. But if you think about it, we are inching towards our upside breakout target. All right? It's just slowly inching up towards there. All right? So, again, immediate resistance is 3104, and the pretty large support, surprisingly, is 2785 down here. All right, so I'll mark it in yellow. Just look like that, and then somewhere right here, 2914. Okay, so these are the three targets, these three lines. So it hits this resistance, we go up, go down, test the support, come down and test this right here. This is a very suspicious spot, 2925, or have a crash day and come back down and test $28. All right, so we'll see. All right, next, natural gas. All right, so this doesn't mean up. This I was showing, again, trend analysis, trend theory. Okay, so let me delete that. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about that. All right, so let's erase that. So we hit our targets. Very, very interesting, okay? Boom, boom, boom. High, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. All right, so it looks a little messy. I'm going to erase it. So what am I trying to explain to people is if you zoom out, just look at this one section right here. It looks like high, low, high. You see that? Or if you look at just this small little section right here, it looks like high, low, high, like that. So trend theory, all right, yes, there could be an ugly upside down head and shoulders like that, and that's what happens. See that? Breakout, test, and break. Support test, and then breakout. But there was news on natural gas, okay? So technical charts for natural gas, in my experience, doesn't work all the time. Natural gas, energy sector, oil, gas, it's all about the fundamentals on the news, right? Because this was all about, I remember in the news, something about people, like gas demand in terms of the summertime, and like people can use more gas, people can use more electricity for air conditioning and such like that at home and companies. So then we had a huge bullish breakout. But there was this chart pattern. Okay, let's see this play out. You measure it, 25% from the breakout, boom, 25%. See? So it can help, right? It's not perfect though. In terms of when exactly was it going to happen. So what's next though? Okay, so if that first pattern is already over, well, if it's going to continue its bullish rampage up, next 25% could be $16. Okay, but if we come back down to test support, that's $11 down here. How do I find that? Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touch points, and it's a gap right there. And then there's immediate resistance right here at 13. So that sounds like this seems like a very reasonable spot. There's one at 15 right here as well. Okay, so again, higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm expecting some kind of pullback higher low unless there's some amazing good bullish news on natural gas. So I'm expecting something like $12 possible pullback. The resistance right now at 13 and the super low support at 11. So those are the three targets. If we go rampage bullish up, then probably 14. So those are the four levels. Okay, so that was the USA stock market portion. Went a little long there because I'm putting in more technical analysis education. Okay, so let's go ahead and for now, let's skip ahead to crypto. Okay, because people wanted me to look at Bitcoin and XRP, Ripple. So let's go to crypto. Let's start with Bitcoin first because Bitcoin. So, all right, I'm just using Bitcoin, US dollar, one-day chart, Bitfinex exchange. Okay, so it looks a little messy. I'll erase everything, but we did hit our bullish target and we pulled back. Okay, bullish target was about 12,000, then we pulled back. Okay, so I'm gonna erase everything. So somebody asked in the comments, subscriber asked, okay, what do I think about Bitcoin holding its price level above $10,500? Okay, so my general answer to that, okay, and remember, this is for educational purposes only, not financial advice, is this. $10,000, first off, 10,000 is a psychological price level, okay? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. What, right? So 10,500, but then 10,500, I'll draw it on the charts. Where's 10,500? Right here. Okay, let's make it accurate. 10,500. How many times has this been tested in the past? Like look at even just 2020. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And so it used to be a resistance. This is a key concept. It used to be a price resistance, rejecting the price down. And now it's acting as support 2 times on the way up. All right. This very important key concept. Okay. So that's the support, horizontal support and resistance concept. All right. What about trend? Well, if you look at this, there was this really bad, boring consolidation range for 3 months. Then we had the breakout. Why do we have a breakout? Well, tightening symmetrical triangle, right? And there's volume on here. So volume, see this? It's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, you got to really be super sensitive to this on a day chart. Is the volume's increasing? We have a chart pattern set up. So thus, measure it. What is it? The percent, about 18%. Went way more than that. If you want to, we can measure the larger side, right? So like from down here to down here, that's about like 20 something, maybe even down here, right? So it's like 20, 25%, and then we basically hit that 25%. Little overshoot, that's okay. All right, so there's the pattern right there. But if you look, let's say, if you're looking for trend, maybe if you go to a weekly chart, even a monthly chart, this could get tricky for Bitcoin, right? Let's look at a daily chart, actually. This makes more sense. So, to narrate it. So we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then it turned actually to a short-term downtrend. All right, this is probably the easiest way to say it. How do I know this? This is a lower high. It's like, that's good. But then you notice we couldn't break 10,000, 10,500 again. Lower high, 9,724. Lower low. Lower high. But here's where it started flipping around. This is where we need to get sensitive to the price action. Higher low. Higher high. Much higher high. Higher low. So again, if the uptrend is going to continue for Bitcoin, it's not about just one psychological price level or one candle. It's more about the trend. What is the Bitcoin trend right now? The price trend. Just for 1 month. Right now, short term, is uptrend. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Very tight in there. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, right? Or it could have been higher high, higher low close, higher high. Test. So it's actually getting a little bit stuck right now. And yeah, this is why Bitcoin for trend analysis, like if the trend is not easy, then you know something weird is happening, right? Like this is just look at this at 2020, excuse me, 2020, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Very simple, right? And then they flipped over a downtrend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, super crash. Then it flipped to an uptrend, higher high, higher low. So I mean, that's why trend, if the trend is not easy to figure out, then something weird, then to me, I'm a little more cautious, right? Like if all of a sudden we're going higher high, higher low here, and then all of a sudden it goes sideways, like, wait a second, what is happening here? This consolidation, suspicious. Suspicious. All right? So just because we broke, if you, like the problem is, a lot of people I talk to, they just look at price only. They look at this thing over here, like the ticker, look on their phone, they go, oh, that's the price. But then the reason charts help is you look at the trend. Like, is it trending up if you're a bull, or is it trending down if you're a bear? That helps with analysis and trading. It's not the only answer, but it helps. Okay, so where am I going with all this? So we want to watch out. We had a double top in the price of Bitcoin, essentially. Okay, not a perfect double top, but there's resistance right here now at 12,000. Resistance 12,000. Okay, poked up here. Also like 11,800. See how many times that rejected? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not good. That's not good. 11,000 is the support down here. All right. There's buyers down here. So basically, do you see what I'm seeing now? Let me put it in yellow. Is there resistance right here, but there's support down here. So now we're stuck again, right? So what we need is we need volume. We need buyers. Look at the volume decline, right? That's another suspicious. Volume decline, and we're trying to break through here. It's not happening yet. We need big Wall Street traders, institutions. We need big whales. We need big money to come and say, you know what, let's go. We need that. Right? But if that doesn't happen, we're topping out temporarily. It's not permanent, but we're topping out at 11,800. See this? Oops. Right? So if we don't break bullish in like a week or two, right, then we're probably going to see some consolidation weakness back down, maybe to 11,000. Right? So now this is kind of turning into this again, right? Because the powerful trend stopped. Also, there's a real, if anyone studied Elliott Wave, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then possible A, B, C correction. Maybe this is kind of a really wide ABC downside correction, but see, totally possible, right? If we double top, this is kind of more advanced technical analysis, but on a daily, it's right here. The 5-wave impulse up and then a 3-wave correction down. It's possible. Okay, but I'm not going to leave that on there because we don't want to forecast it that hard, right? We just need to see the evidence. If it keeps coming down and coming down all the way to 10,500, 11,000, then that was correct. So with Bitcoin is, the problem with Bitcoin, and we'll move on, is just fundamentally, we have to think about it. Fundamentally, my perspective on Bitcoin right now, and just for educational purposes, is in the pandemic, in the current situation right now, do people want to, the majority of people want to own Bitcoin? When people are struggling with in the US, there's unemployment, there's people, with psychological, mental, and physical health issues, right, from the virus. Politics coming up. We have an election in the US in 3 months from now, right? And then there's Bitcoin. So in my opinion, people are not going to buy Bitcoin. They're not going to long Bitcoin unless they see this FOMO action. And then people are, in their mind, they're saying, oh, it's so easy to make money. It's so easy to make money. Just throw your money in this whirlpool of Bitcoin, right? But at the same time is we have to remember, traders, Robinhood traders, or first-time investors are not the only people in the market. For example, let's just rewind. Let me go back to gold. Okay. Just picture this chart in your mind. See this? And then go back to Bitcoin. And what does it look like? It looks very similar. So there's a very strong correlation between gold and Bitcoin and silver and Ethereum right now. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, keep an eye on gold, keep an eye on silver. All right. So again, let me end this with 3 targets. So upside bullish target would be maybe 10% to the upside. So maybe 12,500 is the next bullish target. Okay, 12,500 right there, circle in yellow. And the immediate downside support is 11,300, somewhere in the middle here. And then the big support down, the psychological 11,000, this line. And then the ultimate downside bullish target would be like right here where you see these 2 candles are, wicks. So that would be somewhere like 10,500, 10,600 to downside right there. All right, so somebody wanted me to do XRP Ripple. So let's just skip to XRP Ripple. I'll come back to Ethereum. All right, so this big X was the target. Okay, so we hit our first blue target of 22 cents. Then we hit our second target of 26 cents. Right there. Okay, so let me erase all this now. It looks really, really messy. Now, if you look at, let's just rewind to a monthly chart. Let's look at weekly. Okay, so I'm on a weekly chart right now. So let me go back to Bitcoin so everything makes more sense in context. So in monthly charts, in terms of investing for Bitcoin, monthly chart, it's in a monthly uptrend still. Well, a little bit of hesitation right now. But I think the point is if we're going to continue this rampage bullish up after the halving for Bitcoin, we need a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We need to break 20,000 basically to get the higher high, right? We need to hit like 30,000, 40,000. But again, we have to remember the government could stop that. Okay, the government could stop it with one tweet. All right, so weekly, same deal. If you look here, higher high, higher low, higher high. There's a higher low, but there's a lower high, higher low. So it's tightening right now. You see this? Still tightening in this range. So again, it's questionable, right? So with that in mind, in context, now we go to Ripple. XRP. So at least on this chart, it's been in a 1 month downtrend. Okay? 1 month downtrend. How do I know this? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So weekly though, yes, weekly we did have a uptrend reversal, but long term is still lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Right? So what does Ripple need to do? Bitcoin and Ripple both need to break out above all these major resistance levels. So the next resistance up here is 34 cents. Right there. Next major resistance, 50 cents. Next major resistance, 80 cents. Next, 93 cents. Then probably $1. I'll just stop there after $1. And major support to the downside would be 24 cents, 20 cents, 17 cents, 12 cents, right? So now that we have this in mind, okay, and this is just the Bitfinex chart, okay, it's going back like 2 years. There's a trend line, you see this extended trend line. That's a little off. Extended trend line right here. A little tricky to get these extended trend lines on. See this? That looks correct. Let's get the bottom extended trend line. Probably here, like that. Okay. This Corona crash, yeah, we can. There's one like that, but then there's more touch points if you kind of lock it in. Do you see that? So again, what are we seeing on Ripple? Well, with that downtrend context in mind, yes, there might have been a reversal signal on the daily, upside down head and shoulders with the neckline. See that setup? Like that. Okay. So then if you measure that, it's 100% from the breakout. So we didn't quite hit 100% yet. It hit 60%. So the next target would be 40 cents, 41 cents. If we continue the bullish rally. Okay, let me erase this. So, but if we pull back down to support, because if you notice, if you look really, really closely, all right, higher high, higher low, higher high, where's the higher low is the question. So there's multiple, this is suspicious price level, 25 cents right there. Because right now we broke out and it's testing this trendline support. If it breaks down from that, then we might see a little bit of consolidation pullback like that. But if we hesitate and break out, then 41 cents is the target to complete this upside down head and shoulders pattern. All right. So again, these trend lines were here for a long time, many months, almost 2 years now. So this is not random or surprising to me. It's like, oh, that's just normal trading. That's normal technical analysis on crypto. All right. So we're finding the support here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm expecting some kind of possible pullback if it happens to like 27 cents right there. So you have 3 targets right now. 41 cents if we get there. 41 cents, 50 cents. Okay, 2 bullish targets. 2 support downside targets, 27 cents and 24 cents. And we'll put one down here at 21 cents. All right. So instead of just looking at the price every day, right, is we're looking at the chart for more information than just the price. Okay, that's technical analysis. It's forecasting, financial forecasting. All right, this video is going a little long, so I'm going to have to speed up everything else. Hopefully that answered people's questions on technical analysis, Bitcoin, and XRP Ripple right there. Okay, so let's speed up. Ethereum. All right, so we hit, I'm not going to do the rest of these charts over because this video is going really long today. But basically, all right, so we broke out and hit our targets. Okay, so broke out, boom, pull back down. First target hit, the blue. Second target hit. All right, what we want to watch out for is, a little bit of topping out pattern I'm seeing on the charts and the indicators. Okay, so, and it's kind of rounding over. So again, we could totally pull back to the middle of this rally. All right, so we could totally pull back to like 336. All right, so support would be 336 target, right? Bullish resistance would be 412, like 440. All right, because there's probably price. Yeah, over here, like 440. So again, I'll just leave those circled here, okay? So this is the bullish target up here, like the upper 400s. If we pull back down, which looks like we might, maybe, right? Like 350 where that circle is. And then if we pull back way down to like 300, okay? So it's basically like 400, 350, 300, simply. Okay, Bitcoin Cash USD. All right, so we're kind of in the topping out zone, but look at this. Huge selling candle on August 2nd. So that's suspicious to me. That's a whale or institution. Okay, it's not random. It's not like one small guy. No. We're talking about millions of dollars, right, to do this in the market. Excuse me for a second. All right, just get some water. Okay, so very quickly, we hit our bullish target to the upside right here at 321. So again, testing support at 281. It's even kind of coming down as I'm talking right now. So again, it looks like this Elliott wave theory is coming into play, right? 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to get an A, B, C correction. That's what it's looking like on like all of these charts for now. Okay. So all I'm saying as for no FOMO is you kind of never want to be the last person in a bullish long trade. You never want to be the last person in on the trade. You know what? Somebody bought here. Somebody bought here and you just don't want to be that person because now they're down. See how much they're down. They're down like 12%. Horrible. That's terrible for somebody, right? If they're down 12%, oh no, right? So that's why we use technical analysis, forecast a little bit more. Okay, so if that correction, lower low, lower high, if this is going to become a lower low, then I'm looking at 263. Okay, this whole stick zone is going to be called the wick zone. Just right in there could be support. Okay. So resistance up here at 330, upper 330s. And then support down here in the mid 250s. All right, so I'm gonna keep it very simple. Okay, Cardano consolidating right now. So Cardano, look at this. It's been doing consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidate, breakout, consolidate again. So again, stuck between these two blue targets are the main resistance and support. Still holds from last week. 15 cents resistance, 13 cents support. Okay, so a little bit of, let's check. What else do we got going on here? A little bit of momentum fading, right? So, and if you look real closely, it is downtrending very technically. Very, very, very short term, just like a 2-week downtrend. So we just look, the immediate support is this 13 cent, immediate resistance, 15 cents. So if we keep breaking down, there's like 11 cents, 10 cents, right? All right, Litecoin USD. Our resistance to the upside, resistance, look at this, little consolidation. All right, so looks like people selling off a little bit. Again, it's like on the same day, there's a huge doji right here. All right, so if we're topping out at the $60 range, right, where would support be? $50. $50, 55. Okay, how did I find that? Because psychological 50 and then 55, there's a lot of price action right here. So we want to watch out for 55 as support. I'm talking about this. If this starts turning into a downtrend, then I'd be very cautious about Litecoin. Okay, I'm talking about short-term trading though. Right, I'm not talking about hodl investing. I'm talking about just short-term downtrend. Because if it's going to continue the uptrend, we need to see a higher high. We need to break 65.70, right? Those are the upside targets, right? But if we don't, then we're going to pull back. We could pull back all the way down to 50 and still be fine with uptrend. Okay, next, Binance Coin. All right, so we hit our target of $23. I X marked this spot exactly. Okay, technical analysis works, everybody, if you know how to use it, right? Over here, hit our resistance. So let me erase this blue box. So here's an example of trend. Okay, much easier to see this trend. You see higher high, higher low, higher high. Well, high, low, high. Right? And then where's the low going to be? The low could go all the way to 2070 or 19 or 23. Right? So those are the three targets. $23.50 resistance. Next support level at 2170 or 2069 and then $19, right? So those are our three levels. Let me put that. Yeah, just move on. Okay, EOS. All right, so this is looking super ugly, right? But what if we erase it, what am I talking about? We just had the upside down head and shoulders. This is completed now. Then we go up 25%. Yes, we went more than 25%. Then we pull back 25%. Okay, so that to me is done. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is really suspicious though. That means there's buyers down here as acting as support, this whole range of 286 to 245. But again, we need a much, much higher high. We need to basically go to like $3.75, $4 on EOS to continue this uptrend. If not, I'm expecting lower low, lower high pullback, just normal, right? If the demand falls, nobody wants EOS anymore, the price is going to fall, right? Very simple. So major resistance at 331, supports right here at 292. Okay, there's another support here at 274, then support 250, support 232. The resistance at 347 up here, and 381 and $4. All right, so that makes sense. Here, if you want to draw a quick trend line, for example, because I erased everything, right there. See that? That makes sense. And trend line here. This one makes sense. All right. So again, look at this. This line was here for like 2 months, 3 months, 4 or 5 months, right? So coming back down to here is not unreasonable. Going up here is not unreasonable either. Except this was probably shifting around a little bit because it used to be here, then it used to be here, and now it's here, and now it's here, right? So if you think of it like this way, it's just kind of stuck, right? I'm seeing one more third one. This one might make more sense to people like that. See that? Now you have this whole resistance zone right here. Okay, it's trying to break out, but it couldn't break out. Hit support, let's try to break out again. Then we couldn't do it again. So that's suspicious right there for me on EOS. All right, so the upside target would be 350. We need to break 350 and hit $4. If not, support down here, 275, 250. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, Link USD. We hit our targets. So we had basically a flag pattern. See that? Flag, continuation, bullish targets. All our bullish targets hit. So let me erase all this, start over. It's a new month. All right, resistance up here at 1040. You see that? $9, $7, support, 640. I'm trying to go faster here. $5. All right. So next resistance, 11, 12, 13. Just real simple in dollar increments. So again, Link still in its uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Where's the higher high going to end? Nobody knows. But we can forecast it. We just did. Somewhere in the $11, $12, $13 range. We'll look at some indicators for help. Okay, so it looks like possible pullback to $9 range. All right? Or $7 range or $8 range. That's where I'm expecting the pullback to go. All right, so we'll just watch out for that. So these are the bullish targets. These are the bearish targets down here. Last one, Stellar XLM hit our target exactly. Pattern broken. Okay, so let's go clean it up. Go to resistance. Resistance at 11 cents, 10 cents. Support. 9 cent support. 8 cent support. Right? Stellar in its higher high, higher low pattern. But again, a lot of crypto, this is what I'm saying, a lot of crypto losing momentum, at least for right now in the short term, in the next like week. Or this week, right? Because again, look how many times we hit this price zone right here of $12, $11, 10 cents. Okay, we need to break out of this if we are going to continue the uptrend, big uptrend, right? We need to continue on this big uptrend. We need to hit 14, 13, 14, 15, 16 cents up here. Because if we don't, demand falls and price falls. 9 cents, 8 cents. So support at 9 cents, 8 cents, 7 cents. Resistance, 11 cents, 12 cents, 13 cents. Very simple. Okay. So again, we don't want to just look at the price and make a judgment. It's look at the trend. It's still an uptrend. High, low, high, low, high, low. This one was questionable, but basically it broke out high to prove it. Okay, fine. That's good. Then the next low could go all the way down to 9 cents, 8 cents. The next high could go all the way to 13, 14, 15, 16 cents. All right, so here or here. All right. Okay, so last 30 minutes of this video, we're going extra long today, is we're going to do global indexes. I'm going to try to go even faster for these. Okay, so we're in the global index section starting right now. So Shanghai Composite, China Index. All right, I'm not going to redraw these for now. I'll just leave all these up here, but just turn it off. So what's happening right now? Some consolidation, right? We broke out, then in a short-term downtrend, double bottom on this price at 31.90, bounce back up to test the resistance right here. So I'm going to erase some of this. Where are we? What's happening right now? Well, basically, if we zoom in right here, we hit our target, right? We tightened up in the symmetrical triangle, broke out at symmetrical triangle, topped out at this resistance, hit the first target of 3373. Okay. Then we pulled back down to support and there's buyers on this day. So again, where I'm seeing, we could just erase it actually. Give the computer a minute here to erase. There we go. So, because it's turning into a new triangle. So, I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing this. Okay, so that's not random anymore. The symmetrical triangle is extended now. So, if this is going to, very simply, conservative target, plus or minus 6.5% from the breakout spot. So, 6.5% would be 3572. Bullish upside target, 6.52% to the downside would be 3136. All right, so these are two targets eventually for the Shanghai Composite Index. But there's also support here. See this double bottom is what I'm talking about. There's resistance right here at 3383, resistance right here at 3453. So there's some, targets to hit on the way up or down. But basically, that's where we're going. So for trend analysis stuff, we rewind all the way back for 2020. Well, it's still technically in a longer term high, 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 low pattern. But if you zoom out, like I keep saying for China, if you zoom out all the way in the monthly, you're still in this you're in this large, very large, huge symmetrical triangle tightening pattern on a monthly. See this? Huge, huge. Okay. Kind of reminds me of Bitcoin a little bit. Okay. So the ultimate investor target, if you're holding for years, like 5-6 years from now, is like 4,364 range, and the support down here at 3,354. Yes, there was a monthly upside down head and shoulders. Very interesting. So if we measure that part, yeah, 25% up for the price breakout. Yeah, so it might hit 4,600 at some point, but we're just playing within this tightening triangle range on China right now. But in the short term, on a daily, still tightening around here. Okay, next. Hang Seng Index, HSI. Okay, so still in a downtrend. All right, I guess I have to erase everything because it's just getting too messy. So the bottom side trend line right here. So why did it stop here? It's not random. Trend line support. Trend line support. Then multiple. This one's a little tricky, but let's take it from the top here. See that? Okay, then it's not so random anymore. Not so random anymore. Then there's one right here. You could do this one like that. See? Now you have multiple scenarios covered. So this resistance zone right here, these prices at 26,428 was significant resistance. So let's get that in there. That 26,761, and we got a 24,000. All right, so we got downtrending like this. There's a midpoint in there, but it's coming back down to this questionable support, trendline support level. So we're going to see if this holds. So immediate support at 20,000, 24,000. Okay, and then the top side target is 26,000 if it ever gets there, like up here. If it ever gets there. But if we go down more, the ultimate two bearish targets would be here, these former price levels like that, 22,700 and 21,500. The next bullish target would be up here, like 27,900 and then 29,000. Okay, so just remember, Hang Seng Index in a short-term downtrend right now. All right, so what we need to see is on good news and earnings and global political relationships, we need to see this make a higher high like that. Okay, Japan. All right, Japan. So before I erase it, I'll just show everybody what happened with Nikkei 225 is we had a symmetrical triangle pattern, but we broke down, tested the support levels that I marked right here. You see this in blue, 21,517 and 21,800. Then we bounced to the target, and then we fell back down to the target that I marked. All right, so if we erase that now, if we draw some proper trend lines, now it's looking more like a triangle, more or less, basically. See this? So it's not random anymore, everybody. It's not random. Okay, you got a resistance up here at 23,197. You got support down here at 21,500. All right, the midpoint where this just stopped is 22,118, 188. So now with this in mind, now it makes more sense. So support would be somewhere in the 21,800 range, resistance somewhere in the 22,730 range, right? And then you got a middle support level at 2209. But if you look at trend, okay, lower high, higher low. So it's a tightening. This is turning into a symmetrical triangle. So I'm just expecting the Japanese market index to just tighten in here unless there's really bad news or really good news. Okay. KOSPI, the Korean stock price index, KOSPI. All right, so KOSPI, I just want to show this before I erase it. It was in this symmetrical tightening pattern or wedge, right? High, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Hit all of our targets perfectly exactly where we marked it. Why? Because they were psychological targets and the all-time high back here for 2020. For 2020 all-time high. So again, we hit these and we're stopping here. So let's erase this. Now what are we going to do? Just make sure this is the all-time high. It is not. So where is the next? I'm on a monthly chart now. So the ultimate, looks like the ultimate all-time high for KOSPI was back here in 2017, 2018. And that was 2,607. Okay, then where we are at the former neckline is 2,356. Then a big support level probably down here, 2,213. All right, maybe this one too at 2,457. So now that we have those 4 big targets, all right, look around here, still on the weekly uptrend. Okay, that's fine. And daily's still an uptrend, although it's kind of slanted sideways. So then we could draw the trend line again. Draw the trend line. I'll draw it this way now, backwards. Okay. Sometimes this magnet chart mode doesn't really work well, but that is fine. Close enough, right? And then we had this trend line like that. So it could be viewed as a breakout pattern, right? But then if this is now the new high, we could leave it like that. So let's get one more in there, just in case people are wondering, like, what does it mean? We had this breakout. Okay, so for the Kospi, again, the ultimate three bullish targets is 2469, 2500, 2600, right? These three targets up there, bullish. If it goes up, right? Because if it's going to break out, we need to keep seeing breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback, uptrend, upstairs. We need to see upstairs, right? But if it doesn't go upstairs and it starts coming downstairs for some reason, right? Then downside targets would be 2200. Then I'm seeing there's some, like right here, there's a lot of price action right there. So 2100, 2000. Okay, these are the three bearish downside targets. Three bearish downside targets. And so the immediate pullback to support of the price is 2278 right there. 2278. Immediate resistance 2387. But this is still high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So I'm expecting a low at some point at 2292 right there. So we'll just mark it. All right. I'm going to try to go rapid fire the next couple ones. The ASX, Australian Stock Market Index, basically in a consolidation tightening mode right here. Tightening, which is good. I'd rather have tightening price range than crashing, right? Or like Fomo rally that's uncontrollable. It's like tightening is controllable, okay, in terms of the charts. So again, it's tightening, broke out, broke down, but we had a good pattern. So it's hitting all of our support targets pretty well. But right now in a bit of a very, very short term 2 week downtrend, low, high, low, lower, high, right? But it's recoverable. It's recoverable. So these blue targets are still in play at 6,000, 6,100 on the top side. These bearish targets are still active at 5,900 to 5,800 to the downside. All right. So just going to watch out for that. This one looks a little more fundamental news based. Okay, Nifty 50. All right. It looks a little messy, but still in its higher high, higher low pattern. And just fundamental wise, I did read that a lot of new traders are coming from India. If that's true, this could explain why they're buying their own index in their own economy, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, low, high, low, high, low. And so what we need, if you're trading, just for educational purposes, if you're wanting to know what's going to happen next, possible is, well, it's topping out right here. Double top, this is not so good. We need to see a breakout to 11,500, 12,000. We need to see big, strong moves. Let me just erase this, too messy. Right, we need to see it break up to here. 11,500, 12,000. Right, 11,316 is resistance. Now support, 10,910, 10,600, 10,300. And then we draw the trend lines. Boom, right there. And one sideways. Okay, so it looks like an ascending triangle pattern or just a wedge. Okay, but either way, the target on the upside wedge is again right here, 11,500, 600. Okay, that would make sense. So it's a little tightening right here, so it needs to break out to there. If it doesn't, then I'm expecting a breakdown to like 10,600. Okay, so watch out for that. Euro next. Okay, so we had a breakdown out of this triangle, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So it's still technically in a downtrend, short term. All right, but it's still stuck. You're still stuck between 1,000 and 950 euros. So basically this yellow line and this yellow line. So it's stuck in the midpoint. But if you want to know, are we trending? We're just going sideways right now on Euronext. Okay, so UK 100 index. UK 100 index actually in a bit of a downtrend here. So this is a good example, okay? This is a good example. If we were in an uptrend, let me just erase everything. I'm just going to say we hit our targets to the downside here and here. Okay, so that's good. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's uptrend. Right here, X marks the spot is where it flipped into a downtrend. And it didn't just happen in one day. It took 2-3 months on a daily chart, right? This is lower high. This could have been a higher low, but it's fine. But then once you have this, not good. Then you have this, okay, tightening. This, well, still not good. Then this is not good because lower low, lower high, right? So you see the slope of the angle is starting to shift and point downwards, right? Where this angle on this side with trend lines is way up. You see this? This side looks like this now. So that's how I'm going to redraw it and erase everything and redraw it. Starting to shift downwards. See that? All right, so resistance at 6,300 and support at 5,864. Very simple. So where could the next downside target be? Somewhere 5750 right here, and then 6150 upside target. Okay, next, last couple ones here, the SMI. All right, so one thing to note on the SMI again is we're kind of having a consolidation range. It's not over, and I drew a potential head and shoulders pattern. If this is true, and this is the neckline, if this is true, then we might measure this move and see like a 4% downside. So this makes sense. Back down to this support. Target 1, and then 4% down from there would be like right here. Okay, so if this is true, if this is a head and shoulders reversal pattern to the downside, then I'm looking at those two targets down there. And there's also a trend line right here. Okay, and there's also a trend line on the top right here. I'm making it real big so everyone can see on the screen. All right, but if it doesn't do that, because again, the rest of the U.S. market's a little bullish, right? Yes, Europe is having their downtrend, short-term downtrend right now. But again, if this reverses right at the support level, okay, this is suspicious to me. It could totally bounce up to here. So upside target is 10,700, 10,900. Okay, it could just bounce up. If it breaks down, then you might see a retest and then eventually end up down here somewhere. But this could bounce up like that. It could do that. Okay, the last three, Paris index. So again, if this triangle break down, okay, and it's kind of sloping downwards now. All right, we hit our target like exactly first time. See that? Boom, downside target, then upside target hit. All right, so I'm going to erase this just to clean it up for everybody. And then boom, boom. So you see this? This is the triangle breakout I'm talking about. Boom. So this is a short-term downtrend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So if this continues, then I'm expecting it to hit about 46.33 euros, right? Or 45.38 euros. Resistance at 49.81 and 5100 up there, okay? So we want to watch out for the trend on the Paris stock market index. One more support right here, 47.75. Okay, DAX Germany index. All right, so we hit our target. It broke out, then broke down into our target zone. See the blue and the yellow here marked. Okay, very good in terms of targets. So we have a resistance up here, 13,210 euros. Resistance again, 12,869. Support at 12,291, support at 12,050, and support at 11,767. General range. Again, if this turns into a head and shoulders, just play this bearish scenario out. Then we measure it about 6%. 6% down would be right here in this zone. All right, so that's target number 1 on the head and shoulders. Target number 2, if it's really bad, 6% again would be 10,818. So right here, 10,818. So that's target 2 to the downside. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So if you draw trend lines, extend it out right here, it still makes sense, right? So look at this. Was a resistance previous. Now it's a support, right? Trend lines, beautiful. All right, so next trend line. I'm seeing one. Let's get another extended. Let's like this, right? So again, we don't have to break down out of this, right? This upward sloping wedge up here, okay? It's actually, again, just like Paris, it's actually at the Germany, it's at the support level. So we could totally end up here, right? Bullish target would be this all resistance, all making sense, right? 13,650 or 14,000 up here. okay, or the immediate resistance 13214. So we'll see that last one. TSX, Toronto, Canada Exchange, Canadian, right? Very simple. Boom, right here. Higher high, higher high, high low, higher high, high low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it's trying to break out, hit our blue target exactly. Technical analysis works, everybody, if you know how to use it. Okay, a little tricky with there's so many gaps here, but if you look, where's the next resistance? 16,600, 16,800, 17,000. All right, so if we keep breaking bullish, we need to see some volume confirmation. Actually, we need to see large green volume here. And we also need to see the price breakout, test this and break out. So meaning hold this level and then break out to the upside. So it could break out 16,600, 16,800, 17,000. If it pulls back down, bearish scenario would be 16,300 right here. Boom, like this, maybe test it around and break down to here. So these are I'm circling the levels of interest. All right, everybody. So that was live stream number 5. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something from this video, if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, please remember to click subscribe. Click subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications for any new videos and live streams. Thanks so much for watching. Donations to this channel are always appreciated. There should be donation links to Patreon and PayPal down below in the description and comments. If you have a question about a stock or technical analysis or charts or a company, please let me know in the comments or in the chat box. I will try to answer it on a weekly basis. Thanks again so much, and I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.